Hi, I'm Dan Russell. I'm 32 from Brisbane, Australia, now living in London. I'm a software engineer and later on this year getting married to my fiancée Lisa in May.
Oh, so how does an Aussie end up racing for Team GB in 2016?
So my mother is British, so I've always had two passports. So I used to run track at 1500 metres, 5k in Australia, and then decided to move to the UK in 2010, and basically just decided to. I kept getting injured, thought I want to keep running but not run full time, so I'll just pick up triathlon to basically try and not get fat. And then found out I kind of was good at it, and this has been natural organic progression from there on. So it's been quite fast actually.
And you've raced at an elite level here for Team GB already. You have age group bronze and gold medals to your name.
Yep.
You've also raced as the part of the elite GB duathlon team, and I know that that's one of the big focuses you have for 2016 to get back on that team again.
Yeah, so that's definitely the goal for this year. So I went to do semi-pro for in 2013. I went to top 10 at Wimbledon and stuff like that. But I found I didn't particularly enjoy the long distance racing. I found it a bit kind of lonely, and I think the cut and thrust, the elite racing, and the packs and the attacks and all that kind of stuff is just fantastic. So I'm very fortunate to be in the GB team. I also race for Calais in their French Triathlon League, which is the top league in the world, and that is picturesque French villages that get shut down for the day, and we get to race our bikes and run through those. So we're very, very lucky.
And it's very different with the draft legal races versus the non-drafting races. So the ITU versus the Ironman distance racing. It's a completely different ballgame.
Absolutely. I tried to juggle the two in 2013 and found that very hard from a cycling training point of view, because you're working your age groups and you're sort of time trialing and constant power output, whereas look at your power graph after a elite race and it's all over the place, because you are having to attack and sprint and all that. And also obviously the courses in the elite races, they love putting in the centre of towns, but they seem to find a hill somewhere and make you go over that 8 or 9 times, and someone always attacks, invariably always attacks.
And having grown up in Australia, would you have been a natural swimmer? Would you have been swimming from a young age? So to progress into triathlon from the running track background, was that an easy transition?
So it's one thing, obviously, grew up in the water, been surfing since I was a kid, swam, but never really a great swimmer. So kind of, above average in an age group pack, but never first out of the water, except for a couple times I think goes really, really well. And that was kind of one of the traditions of one of the problems of going pro was that they are amazing swimmers. And unless you are a proper swimmer, 18 minutes, 1500, it's not going to work. So I love that, but it was just getting used to the cycling actually was the hardest thing. So all the getting your cadence right, getting nutrition right, holding the positions for ages, gearing, all that kind of stuff was a massive learning curve for me. Still is if you're in the packs. So but I really enjoy it.
So how did you come to end up here with us today as part of the Try Training Harder team for 2016?
Ironically, it was just at the 2013 World Age Group Champs in London. Try Training Harder had a stand at the fair, I guess you call it, and they had a team. They're taking applications for the team, and I applied then and have been on. And been on team now basically for 3 years. So it's been great. I've been very, very fortunate. These guys have supported me a lot through the differing stages of my latter half of my career. They've been fantastic, so very fortunate.
And you're not a professional athlete, you work full-time as a software engineer, and you're juggling that work with your training plus making plans to get married in May of this year. How do you get the work-life balance and all of that just right so everything comes together? So
I've been incredibly fortunate to have work. It's been very flexible. So obviously I was semi-pro and then gone back into kind of full-time work this year. They've been incredibly flexible, but no man's an island. You do need a team around you, and work's been great. My fiancée has been amazing. Obviously, she, as many people out there will know, there's the Iron Widow syndrome, and that goes in for shorter distance racing. So she's been fantastic. My family's been fantastic. Despite living in Australia, still they've followed me all over the world. They've been to America, Turkey, Spain, and the UK plenty of times to watch me race. So I'm incredibly lucky about that.
What would you say has been your biggest sporting accomplishment to date?
The age group World Championship medal was amazing. Obviously, having the medal presentation in Trafalgar Square was quite a fantastic moment, and still I have that as my screensaver onto the photo of walking up the stage. It's a screensaver on my phone, which is a good reminder. Sometimes you don't feel like going to training to know what it's all about. But the first elite world champs at Spain was amazing. I think I remember sitting there in my GB tri-suit going, obviously as a kid you dream about representing your country, and that wasn't necessarily the sport or the country I dreamed of when I was a kid, but I was still incredibly proud to race for a country, GB, that's my family's come from, and in that world champs and that toddler age was just fantastic.
And if there was one race in the world that you could conquer, what would it be?
So I've actually, it's quite a lot, my dream race, obviously everyone wants to do Challenger off because the crowd's fantastic there. Mine's a bit more eclectic. There's actually a race called Tour d'Afrique, which goes from Cairo to Cape Town, which would be on a bike, which would be amazing. But I think for now, I've got the rest of my life to do that. I think now it's all about getting the best of GB, the world champs, the European champs for duathlon this year. That's definitely the goal, the one thing I want to really get done.
You've been part of the team for a number of years now, as you've mentioned. How important is the support that you get from the team here at Try Training Harder? Because you're not professional athletes, yet the setup that's here is really like very, very professional setup, professionals involved in your physio, your nutrition, your sports psychology, and your team management. It must be a huge support to have that backup here.
It's absolutely. I mean, like I said, I've been incredibly blessed with the flexibility. I've been able to spend like a month or so out here because of being able to work in reception. So, but it takes flexibility both ways, right? So, it's great to have these guys there, but you have to be flexible as well. Where sometimes you're working late, phone conferences in airports and stuff like that. But the team is fantastic. I mean, I've seen it evolve over the 3 years, and it is a constantly evolving process basically. But you got Gordon Bosworth, who was the Team GB physio at the Olympics. He is just another level, and that whole Bosworth clinic is fantastic there. I spent a lot of time up there. You've got obviously the new bikes of Bridgetown coming on there, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. High Five Nutrition, we really are. It is amazing. I know a lot of my friends are very jealous about what we've got here, and it makes it so much easier to achieve what we want to achieve.
And of course the surroundings that we're here as well in Villamora, and the residences that we're in for the few days that we're here, are fabulous. They're a fantastic base for training. We actually did a little exploration of the coffee stops today, but we were in a car, not on a bike.
So they're fantastic. I know I do have a Pasta Del Nata ranking list of the cafes in the Algarve, and we're so lucky to have that. It's fantastic. I really enjoy it. The riding out here is fantastic. Lots of hills, lots of flat stuff if you want it. The 50-metre pool is absolutely fantastic. Coming from Australia, where they're everywhere, it's the UK where they're not. You really don't forget how much you miss that. It is absolutely fantastic. So great setup.
Well, Danny, thank you for taking the time out from your schedule today to join us here, and we look forward to chatting to you again later and during the season and see how the season is going for you.
No problem. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.